Hello, 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 and welcome back to another episode of Today's Weather Tonight. Here, as always, I am your meteorologist for the evening, Cloud Hudson, and I'll be bringing you tonight's top weather stories from all spheres of weather, from the little to the big, from the bottom to the top, all the way in and out. Okay, let's start with inside the Earth. Wonder, what's in a wonder ball? You remember that commercial for that candy wonder ball? Uh, let's get. Oh, let me get my. Okay. Pardon the late hour here. I've got quite the work week this week, so I'm having some late night shows. Okay. Now let's show on stream. Okay. All righty. I don't know why I'm gonna try to stream this way tonight with this layout and see if that makes it better. Okay, in Shivil in Kamchatka Peninsula of Russia, Siberia, volcanometry. We've got this picture to go along with it. Kind of hard to tell what's what from the atmosphere. To flight, excuse me. So volcanic ash into the atmosphere there. We've got Dukono over on Halmahera, has volcanic ash to flight level 80. Santiaguito still has up to flight level. A new volcanic ash emission. Explosive activity continues at flight level 140. Fuego, continuing eruption. Sangay, continuing to erupt. Reventador, no recent volcanic ash emissions. I wonder if Fernandina is still erupting off the coast of Ecuador. Salancaya has intermittent emissions, and the Urta Ale depression. We got that update yesterday. Let's see. Popo has volcanic ash emissions today, and here's a image of Reventador. New volcanic ash emission observable to 16,000 feet. And here's a beautiful picture from Dukono. Let's now move on to looking at our earthquakes for today. So here's the simplified view. We're going to look at it through the MSN weather map as the simplified view because it's a pretty concise way. It's more complete than USGS, but it's more concise than Earthquake 3D. So in the Pacific, we got the Bonin Islands, 0.6 at 6 points is marked as side Mariana Islands. 4 here in Indonesia at 28 miles depth. Got 4.7 south of the Kawalu Island in Indonesia. We've got 4.6 northeast of Sabang, Indonesia. Let's see. There's also, Bonin Islands. Let's see. We've got Kyrgyzstan border region again. Kyrgyzstan border with China continues to crackle with some quake activity. 4.4 at 6.2 kilometers depth. I have a feeling that's 4.1 in Poland. We continue to see earthquakes in Poland. This is really the area where we've seen a lot of earthquakes in Europe recently. 4.1 at 66.2 miles down. Again, as usual, we've got a little triangle of doom around Puerto Rico. This is just really, I don't know what happens here in the southwestern coast of Puerto Rico, but there is, I do know some people who are from here, but I don't know what is causing so many earthquakes specifically in that area. La Plena, Puerto Rico had a 2.5 at 11 miles down, 3.6, 57 miles down, and a 3.2, 12 miles down. And out here in the Virgin Islands, a 3.3, 4.8 miles down. We have some quake activity sustained throughout the United States in our regular hotspots. Continued aftershocks from New Jersey. One in the middle of new area, El Moro, Colorado. We've also got one here in Prague, Oklahoma. Of course, there's always, usually they're around here, but this is an area of Texas where there's a lot of regular earthquakes. 3.9, 2.8. There's a lot of intensity recorded there. And also southeast of San Antonio as usual. 2.6 at 6.9 kilometers down, just off the coast of Rosarito, Mexico. Here at the Pinnacles and at the Geysers, California, we're seeing some tremor level quakes. We had a 3.1 here in Smiths Ferry. That might be that 10-kilometer depth. Government Camp, Oregon. 1.9. I wonder who's camping there. Probably the government. A very shallow 1.9. And then also one here in Tigard, Oregon. 1.9 at 16.2 miles down. And of course, we've got some threes spreading through. Uh, 2.5, 3.2, 2.5, spreading into Halibut Cove. Karluk, Alaska, Kilauea. This is Kilauea though. This is the volcano. 2.2, 2.6, 2.6, 2.2. Looking like we're getting some new earthquake activities at the volcano here. And there's also some here near Pahala. All right. Let's take a look real quick at Earthquake 3D, just to give you a better view with the shells on. This is where they're overlapping. And remember, I've got Yeah, red is newest and blue is oldest. So you can the trend of spread of quakes from here going I would the Daman Islands region if it strikes without going into the plate next, but I think we'll have a strike there. Back to here. Let's look at what's happening over here. Here's a little, all the overlap. We've got the four corners of this plate pretty much covered, looking like they're going in a circle. So my guess is China is next for probably Japan. Tan is under. It does look like there's momentum moving towards Japan. Here's our deep quakes out in the Tonga Fiji Islands triangle. The Tonga Islands, the Fiji Islands, they're all the way down at 178, 296. These are in kilometers again, and a surface quake. So yeah, and we've still got some lingering momentum here, or lingering activity in Australia. Take it up here. Okay, our most recent one was here in Greece. The Poland one is a little older. Oops. As we look at the United States, it's kind of hard to see. They do try to stack them in, and so looks like West Texas stack has been getting, oh, I don't know. Can't really say either way whether that's strengthening or weakening at this point. But Texas and California are really the clusters, the cluster fucks. Here we go. Let's zoom in on that Kilauea area. Turn shells off real quick and take my rings down. Yeah. These look to be centered around the volcano, not around the where we've had some. Okay. So that's our pincushion Earth view today. Oh, I forgot that there have been some in the South Sandwich Islands region as well. Here on the border of the which plate is this? The Atlantic plate? I forget what the name of that plate is, and the Antarctic plate. And then here we had that 4.4 in. Oh, that's not the one I clicked on. Here in Argentina, we've got a 4.4 at 144 kilometers depth. That's fun numbers. Let's go now to look at our atmosphere, because this is where the big story is tonight, y'all. I'm going to make my face even smaller on this one, because this is quite a doozy. We've got a gnarly storm up here in Nebraska. We were in slight and marginal risks today. We're moving out of the slight risk with that big line of storms into the marginal risk. These are interesting shape because we've got some really weird direction winds coming from the east. There are some easterly winds meeting up in the middle with some westerly winds. This boundary here looks pretty high dBz on it. Be peeking into the Kennesaw, Kennesaw, Wood River, Alda, Cairo area of Nebraska here. Oh yeah, that looks nasty. Okay, yeah, you can see there's the one line coming in from like the southeast and kind of from the northwest, and they're meeting up and honestly trying to create that shape I'm always talking about, the crashing wave shape. This shape. This is the shape that I'm always talking about being a crashing wave. Can't y'all see that? Okay, let me draw it for you. Well, hold on. I'll pause it and then I'll draw it. Okay. Do y'all see this? This is the shape I'm talking about. Things flowing up into here and around the crashing wave. That's the color I'm talking about. We get stuff flowing in this direction and in this direction. And they're spinning in together into this like very severe weather pattern that we've got going on in Columbus, Nebraska. Now, let's take a look at that in motion again. And I want y'all to witness the curving of the ocean wave. This is what I'm talking about. That ocean wave pattern, it's wave. This is a function of viscosity of bulk air flowing together at a very specific ratio. What I mean by that is how do I simplify that even more? It's like the waves created in oil and water or something. Do I have any little toys around here that have display? I don't think I can easily access. Oh, maybe I can't. Hold on. Might have some visualization toys in here. Whatever you are, I have in here. Pearl necklace, candy canes, essential oils, wood slices, a fake pearl necklace, a game of set, brief tour of higher consciousness, butane, sunglasses, you know, everything you need for a perfect day at the beach, but not my visualization toys that I'm thinking of. And I'll find them as soon as I'm not trying to use them. But basically, when there's two different fluids meeting up and they don't mix well, this is the scale of mixing they get on. When they don't dissolve into each other very well, the combination pattern scales up like in a fractal way. It resists mixing at the smaller scales until we get to this larger scale, and then they'll mix on a scale that we can see the ocean wave shape take form. Very cool to see, a beautiful sight. It's storm formation in this way. You can really see different directions of motion at different cloud heights. Like back in on itself as it gets tall enough. Um, Speaking of changing with height, well, I'm not going to go there yet, but let's take a look at our composite radar. Okay. Okay. So we've got a little system moving into the Pacific Northwest. We've also got Utah rain, Colorado rain, Wyoming. It's like purposely learning. It's a fake dead language, but like it's a fake dead borders, but I still know them. Just because I'm a nerd. Yeah, this system is even reaching into the Dakotas, North and South Dakotas. See this in motion. This looks like a juicy cell right here, right on the Nebraska South Dakota border. Yeah, look at that. You can see how that is one cloud, and it is shrinking. But as the night goes on and the night air cools things, you can see how at the surface, where we've got Atlantic, like North Atlantic surface winds are swooping down and to the west. So we've got some weird westbound we're talking about like looking down at the page and seeing the wave. We're also looking at vertically in the atmosphere around this ridge, some swirling of the atmosphere as well. Right down. And that is really giving a lot of lift to everything going over the Gulf of Mexico right now. Energy in the Gulf of Mexico. This surface level contrary winds are in the areas of the Atlantic that have really cold sea surface temperatures. Why don't we just go ahead and take a look at null Earth? Love watching the derived winds. Okay, yeah, look at how weird this is. We've got a little bit of a high here off the New England, New Brunswick. Is that what this part of Canada is? I almost said Canada. Little bit of a high circulation here. So that is spitting winds into the East Coast rather than them usually coming from the West and going offshore at the East Coast. So we've got like an influx of air really being fed by the larger circulation geometry. There's a lot of air getting fed into the weather trend right here. And that's not going to stop. I think they're forecast to see continuation of this spiral rotation of winds for the next 3 days at least. Here you can see that wave. So you see where the ridge is and the temperature, and you see the winds swirling into this area. I was saying this is the area that's the center of rotation, where we are seeing the convection happen just a little bit further north and east. Also, let's talk about warm air and cold air advection. Anywhere you see these wind lines going from a different color representing a different temperature, that's where you are bringing in cool air or bringing in warm air, depending on where you're flowing from and to. So this area over Texas or the storm, and this area that's air. So when you have warm air advection coming up into and cold air advection spinning here to give it a little bit of lift up, it gives it lift up because the cold wants to sink below the warm, and that like kind of pops the warm up to be able to convect. This is great geometry for severe weather. This is the way that you want to draw the picture if you're trying to draw the picture of a storm. Let's take a look at levels though. D, as we move on up, this is what our 750, let's see, our 850, 1100. Here's that really strong ridge that's in the 850 level. That is bonkers meridional transport. Like this is showing the typical, usually going from the Pacific straight over to the east. But this is either a massive trough followed by a massive ridge, or we just don't have ridges and troughs anymore and the air can go wherever it wants to. Do you see what I mean? Like at that mid level, that's bananas long distance to have a vertical meridional transport like that. Like usually usually hot air from the equator moves to the poles by getting spun into storms and moved around through the spiral. This is just a straight line. This is just a beeline from the equator towards the poles. So they are heating up at the mid-levels for sure. 700 layers to get an up off. And we're getting a little bit more normal. We get to the 500 level, the jet stream level. Uh, 70 and 10 hectopascal surface. Look at all effective available potential energy. There's still some pinky looking spots. That is, and you can see the wave pattern again in this. That is gnarly, gnarly weather, I would say. Let's take a look at our, yeah, that is a low pressure. It's not quite red, but it's not red yet. Speaking of, this is low pressure. And look at this kind of vertical meridian. There's a massive low pressure system all over China right now. I mean, yesterday we had that Hong Kong to Taiwan big storm coming, and I think that they have a storm active here right now. It's also monsoon season around south and southwest Asia right now. Looks like maybe there's finally not a low pressure system over Kenya, but we are seeing a low pressure system in the Red Sea here, and still some near UAE. Let's see if we've got, can I see? Yeah. They're still here in Kenya, and that is in the flooding in Kenya. And Kenya, and I believe it's Tanzania basin. Let me see. Let me check my yeah, Kenya and Tanzania have had a incredible, unfortunate death toll from this massive flooding that's happening in that region. Lots of moisture around the equator, as always. Yeah, here's our precipitation, Taiwan, south of Japan, all across Indonesia, and very weird looking weather systems all around, because we're seeing so many of those vertical heard of, but it is quite unusual to see such up and down lines, like perfect. That is quite weird to me. Streaking, but it's not unheard of. It is definitely the way that lines of storms can develop when there's not a very tight circulation at the poles, or something's weird. Something's weird, and I'm going to get to the bottom of it, but not tonight. Not tonight. I don't think I'm going to figure it out tonight. I'm going to keep watching every day, and you're going to keep watching every day as well. Maintenance. Let's see if any other sites have current data. No, I guess this is offline. Tomsk is offline after, no, this is from 2003 or 2023. Sorry, you guys have to watch me Bing search something. Now, this is just going to link me back to... This is just going to link me back to... Yeah, it's going to link me back to the one that I already always go to. There is an app. Let's see if I can get some information from the app. I'm busting out my other computer. Yeah, I didn't even know I had this. This is the computer I started broadcasting on. All right, let's see. Okay. I'm gonna call this up and show it. Just gonna do a image of my... If it works. Some human data today. I know there's a lot of energy transfer happening because that happened done through the mechanism of lightning. And so what does that mean for the more meanings of weather for storms? That means that storms are chances to exchange energetic information with the literal higher rains down. Rains down information. Okay, I guess this doesn't want to give me info for Tomsk or Cumiana, Italy. That is the other Schumann resonance. Maybe. No, it's not going to show me. Residence's live update. Bing. No, I don't know why that's not. I bet that something big is going on with the Schumann resonances right now. That their values are pretty. We're not going to get good information on that. So let's keep going. Let's keep going and go to our space weather. Skip over the Schumann area and go straight to space weather. Let's see how many coronal mass ejections do we rack up today? Got 1, 2, 3. 5C long. Let's see what that looked like. Oh, let's see what the neck is. That, yeah, that's a different log of that one. There's that one that we saw yesterday ramping up, I think. Yeah, we've seen a few. Okay. Let's go to look at our solar dashboard. Current data suggests there's a slight possibility for aurora to appear in Alberta. So we'll take a look at those in a second. Pretty normal looking proton levels. We see the biggest X-ray flux we've had today was we had an M. And that to the little extended hump that we had there. Let's look at some imagery. On the western limb, but it's probably given off some, yeah, it's given off some big, bright, stormy stuff right now. 3654 is Earth direct at the moment. Let's see. Let's take a video of this. Let's see the 193 angstroms. 193 angstrom view of the last 48 hours on the Earth, or of the sun. Seeing a few different flares, seeing some whips lashed. Ooh, seeing some transport, some tubes, little subway for plasma on the surface of the sun. Yeah, I thought this was going to explode more, but it didn't really pop off. There's one ejection too. And then this is really interesting. This tube here. You see that like sucking in the charge? These long, thin, filamentous tubes. Let's see what that looks like on the 304 angstrom. Let me see what these tubes look like. The little fallopian tubes on the sun. Oh, you can see the plasma tornadoes so well in this view. Yeah. There's that little node, that little arcing like a Tesla coil thing. Very cool. All right. Let us next take a look at our aurora. Oh, yeah, we got a very strong southward tilt to our interplanetary magnetic field. Maybe not too dense or strong, but pretty decent wind speed. Definitely in the southern. Where have I webcams? That's where I've seen it. Let's look at that Manitoba one. That gave us some good luck the other night. Not much. I'm going to scan back a little bit. We see anything? Not too much out of the Zen Den today. Oh, wait. I saw a little bit of something here. It's a little out of focus. I bet that there's some condensation on the lens. But, yeah. Do you trust the thumbnail right here? This part of this is out of focus, but there is a little bit of aurora happening here in Canada tonight. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, I can see it only in the shapes of the different colors of black pixels on my screen, but it's very faint. Let's see. Here's my auroral oval. Let me see if I could see anything in Alaska. Yeah, slightly south. I'd say it's strongly southward right now, but sun will be barely in sunset there, so kind of hard to see still. Okay. Let's take it out to our planetary weather now. I hope I haven't rushed through this or dragged it out too long. I think I'm right on schedule. Today's planetary weather, we are in a Venus day and a Venus hour. We started this broadcast in a Venus day and a sun hour. So it's Friday, Freya's day, Venus's day. Very exciting. Let's start our analysis by looking at Venus. She is at 26 degrees Aries. That is moving into the orb of squaring Pluto in Aquarius. It is also within the orb of actually happen first. First, the moon is going to trine Venus in Aries from being in Sagittarius. Then we've got Mercury, Chiron, North Node, and Venus are all in this interplay of conjunction right here in Aries, this big old pile up. But as soon as Venus gets out of Aries, she'll be in Taurus, which is her domicile. Or she rules Taurus, so that'll be cool. We've got that ever impending, ever nearing. Thank you, Earthquake 3D. Mars moon in Pisces that is taking place, or mean Lilith. That conjunction is currently sextile. Well, it's roughly sextile the moon that just went from Scorpio into Sagittarius. Speaking of which, the moon is for sure most exactly sextile to Pluto in Aquarius. And then that's almost within a 5-degree orb of sextiling this conjunction here. Then I would say there's not too many other aspects to talk about today. We just had the moon oppose this previous. Man, there's just so many quakes going on right now. They're all over Alaska, and all these quakes that are coming in within the broadcast are happening in the United States in some way. Alaska, California, and Texas, most specifically. Okay. Let's see. I want to look up the Sabian symbol for 26 degrees of Venus. I don't remember where that is on this website. It's all I have. Okay. All right. The deterministic astrology interpretation for the 26th degree of Aries, which Venus has just entered, or just left. Actually, it's the one that it's in. So it's really 27 Aries that we'd be looking at. 26 is what it just left. Sabian symbol is a man is seen burning to incandescent heat of that which he has to give. Just sting. Big redistribution of wealth. I like that. Aries 27. Sabian symbol is a panorama of blending events out of the past, shows the regaining of lost opportunity through the imagination. Kosminski's symbol says a huge hourglass, the sands in which are running low. Oh my God. If California doesn't stop having earthquakes, I'm gonna punch them. I'm getting annoyed by these now. Okay. Very interesting. I feel like this has... I feel like this... A panorama of blending events out of the past shows the regaining of lost opportunity through the imagination. And a man is seen burning to incandescent heat with the wealth of that which he has to give. Quite the strong images for our current political moment. There are a lot of people very actively protesting the genocide in Gaza right now, and being oppressed, but that's kind of like martyrizing them and making them even more determined to protest the oppression. There's a lot of old systems crumbling, and there's also the fighting back of the system clawing its way out of decay. It is not going to make it out of decay, unfortunately for the system, but like you can see how much progress is being made by how that shows how far we're coming. So I think this is a very justice-oriented transit of Venus through Aries this time. It doesn't feel as egoic or almost like finding ego in the other, in the justice, in the Libran qualities, finding the self-identification through what you can do for collective justice is giving that kind of flavor to this Aries transit of Venus right now. I really feel strongly that by the time the Sun and Venus make their way through Taurus, we are going to see some dramatic changes in the international politics scene. We can't keep hitting our heads against the wall forever, because by the time Venus is in Taurus and Mars is in Aries, we're going to have those two planets in their signs that they rule, with outer planets very close by. Anyway, this is just going to be a really, man, the years just get crazier and crazier to watch as we keep going. I want to give just one card from the liminal space, because I've already said so many very definite things that are very predicty tonight. Do y'all like, I don't know if you can see, but I've got my, again, I'll show my rough drafts of my Today's Weather Tonight logos, just in case y'all wanted to know the process. I am working on getting a logo made. Before I hire an artist, I can't even afford to employ myself with this, but I guess it's really a challenge to rise to the occasion and put all my multidisciplinary strengths into one effort here. All right. Thank you to my one viewer. I'm happy that you're here. I'm sorry I haven't been monitoring the chat very much, but usually not many people here. That'll change soon, eventually, but I don't know. For right now, it's just Club Emperor. Cosmic weather reading, our vibe check on the ephemeral and chaotic realms. What is that? Is that another damn California quake? Yeah. Yeah, I'm getting real sick of these California quakes. I know they're like, oh, we have them all the time. Maybe I'm sorry, I won't go on. All right. Liminal space deck. What do we got from the cosmos today? What's the weather coming in from the cosmos? Magic is immediate. Magic is immediate. So perhaps I haven't done the right magic to get viewers since it's immediate. Why do I want to fail so badly? I don't know. Doesn't make sense. Let's take a look at what magic is immediate means. It's not just about my channel, though. It's all about the world and the way that we can change the world. And I think that talking about all vibes and politics and changes on the earth at the same time as talking about weather is important for magic making. Okay, magic is immediate. Magic will be detectable within moments of seeking it. Follow when found. The place it guides you to may divert your attention from something else that was not producing a magical result for you at this time. You cannot bottle magic or decide it will appear. So, decide which form it will appear. Magic will be detectable within moments of seeking it. Follow when found. The place it guides you to may divert your attention from something else that was not producing a magical result for you at this time. You cannot bottle magic or decide which form it will appear, but it is the most reliable force in the universe. I'm going to have to let this one sink in. I know it's supposed to be immediate, but maybe my perception or understanding is not quite immediate. So I think I'm going to end the stream there. Maybe I will go on Twitch and look into streaming some other content that might get more attention. I don't know. I don't want to do things for attention, but I might find something more magical. Anyways, yeah, the earthquakes are just going off one after another tonight. That is so many earthquakes. My dude. That's just so many in Texas and California alone. Wild. Pretty big day for earthquake fans. Well, not fans, but annoyed by earthquake 3D. I'm going to take one final look at our radar. Yeah, it looks like we've got some things. Okay, I'm gonna pop back onto radar real quick before we close this out. I know I usually close with the cosmic weather, but I want to show our update on this Texas cell that's posted up here east of Lubbock, Texas, in the Panhandle. Here's the pork pie hat, the top hat of Texas, I guess. The cowboy hat part. Here you see kind of a horizontal spiral. You can sort of see that horizontal waveform in the rolling cloud. But you can also see how this echo right here might want to create a twister. Now this is an area where there might be enough energy for that. Let's take a look at a more local radar site. Lubbock has a radar site. This is quite the hook echo there. And you see that spiraling pattern that I talk about. I don't know if you can Guacamole. Uh-oh. You guys aren't seeing me. I got too powerful. And my stream refreshed. And when my internet goes out and my stream refreshes, it takes my camera setup off. But yeah, look at this little velocity couplet that's cropped up in this that's crept up in this little severe thunderstorm warned area. Let's go back to looking at all radar, not single site. Radar all together. And we can see this area that I'm talking about. Possible that the velocity is aloft, that they're spinning aloft. That's not that good. That's a little hook right there. We've got some severe weather all the way across Kansas, from Bartlesville. Moving from Bartlesville towards Kansas City, there's a string of isolated thunderstorm cells. Wave shape above the large wave shape here in Nebraska and South Dakota. I mean, most of Nebraska is getting rain right now. Like, if you are anywhere in Nebraska, you're getting some very severe weather at the moment. There's not many counties out of even the Northwest counties that weren't as severely warned are getting some decent rain. Also, some convection popping up through Missouri into Tennessee. Now, I don't expect it to make it over the mountains, but with such different directions, with such high wind shear across the whole place, I'm not going to say there's no telling, but there is conventional wisdom of how things usually act goes out the window when you've got such unusual wind patterns. Let's take a look at this Lubbock, Texas area again, because and we've got another thing in Big Lake that looks pretty nasty. Gusty winds. Okay, now they have issued more severe thunderstorm warnings here and here. Let's see if this little velocity anomaly has quieted down in the past few posts. Oh yeah, it's spitting off its own little cells, so it's not remaining part of this circulation. That's the line of storms there. Okay, it doesn't look as bad anymore. And I trust the meteorologists who are working at the warning desks right now. If they're not issuing tornado watches, then that means there's probably not enough ingredients in the kitchen to make a tornado. Let's see. This near Abilene. Yeah, I mean, it still looks like a velocity couplet on the Abilene one, but I think that might also be an illusion from the radar axis. The angle of the storm to radar interacting with the angle that the radar takes to and away from reading. It takes velocity readings. Because you're seeing kind of a wave pattern here. Yeah. It's not as much a couplet as it is a wave. Like a jagged woo, 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 woo. Okay. Well, suffice it to say, there is no end in sight for the severe weather, though I don't think that we all need to be super concerned about, we don't need to be super concerned about tornadoes, but this is just a nasty, gnarly April showers kind of night across much of the Midwest. Lots of severe weather, probably going to be some power outages, downed trees, the like. So let's go to, I keep zooming out like, why can't I see all of it? Duh, because you're not on composite. Okay. Yeah, you can still see the wave crash shape in this. I don't care who you are. That there's a wave. That there's an ocean wave. Okay. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful storms. Also making its own little hook, its own little splashy shape. And you can see, yeah, quite clearly the center of the low is over here in Colorado. And as that moves through the Midwest tomorrow, and there's a ridge in place, so who knows what it's going to take to go from side to side. Look at there. You can really see it well. Yeah, okay. Let's I gotta work tomorrow. But I want it as much as I know how to. Magic is immediate. Big changes out there. Are we ready? Are we feeling it, Mr. Krabs? All right. I hope y'all have a great night. Thank you so much for watching. To my one viewer, I loved you so much. I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you for being here. Yeah, that's it for today's update. Thank you so much. Have a great evening. Bye.